5.3. 1.
Hi, you've reached Rosa and Colin. We're not here right now to take your call, but if you'd like to leave a message, we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
2.
This is Executive Travel Services. The office is closed at the moment. Our office hours are 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Monday to Friday, and 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock on Saturday. Thank you for calling.
3.
Hello, I'm sorry I can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your name, number, and a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please speak after the tone. Thank you for calling.
4.
The person you called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone. You can re-record your message by pressing 1 at any time.
5.
Thank you for calling CompuHelp. All our operators are busy right now. If you want, you can hold, or if you prefer, you can leave your name, number, and a short description of the problem you are experiencing, and an operator will phone you back in the next 30 minutes. Thank you.
5.4. 1.
This is a message for Maria Ferrando. This is Rosa Lanson. I just wanted to thank you for all the help and information you gave us. I'm going to research a few things and then we'll fix up another meeting. Thanks again.
2.
Hello, this is Rosa Lanson on 020 8488 3497. I'm having trouble connecting up to the internet. My computer keeps crashing. Could you get back to me soon, please? It's just after 4 o'clock, thanks.
3.
Hi, Eric, it's Rosa. I've got some more information from the internet about the places Maria suggested, so we ought to have another meeting. Could you manage later this week? Thursday or Friday would be best if you could make it then. Call me when you get a moment. Bye.
4.
Hi, Rosa, it's Eric. I got your message. I'm afraid I can't make Thursday or Friday morning, but Friday afternoon's okay. How does that sound? Let me know any time from 2 o'clock. Speak to you soon. Bye.
5.5.
Hi, Eric, it's Rosa. I've got some more information from the internet about the places Maria suggested, so we ought to have another meeting. Could you manage later this week? Thursday or Friday would be best if you could make it then. Call me when you get a moment. Bye.
5.6. 1.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
2.
You're breaking up.
3.
It's a bit difficult to talk at the moment.
4.
I'll be quick. The battery's...
5.
I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back?
6.
I'm afraid I lost you just then.
7.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
8.
What was that?
Unit 6. 6.1.
Where do you come from, Cesar?
I come from Huelva, a city in the southern Spanish region of Andalusia.
When did you come to England?
I came to London in 1998. I was studying English literature at a university in the south of Spain when I had the chance to come to the UK. I wanted to make a new start, and London seemed like the ideal place.
You got a job as a teacher?
Yes. Before I went back to university in Spain, I had taught for 5 years in a Catholic school, so I had some experience. But the teaching was very different.
How was it different?
At the beginning, it was difficult. It was completely different from what I'd known before. The pupils came from so many different backgrounds and cultures, and a lot of them were from very poor families. There were also problems of discipline and classroom behavior. I was teaching one day when a pupil stood up and shouted, "This is boring," and walked out. That type of thing had never happened in Spain. But I saw this as a challenge. What at the beginning I thought was rudeness in my pupils was, in most cases, a different way of understanding life and learning.
What do you like about London?
I like the variety of London. It has every food and culture. Before I came to London, I had never seen anyone from India, for example. I also like the village atmosphere, the sense of different Londons within London, the way you can be in 3 different worlds in one day.
Do you still enjoy what you do?
Oh yes, even after all this time. There are more than 7 million stories in London, and I'm lucky to hear some of them as I work in a school with 1,200 students.
6.2.
Tell us a little bit about your background. You were a musician to start with, I believe.
Well, sort of. When I was at school, some friends were putting together a band. I'd learnt the guitar, but I also played drums and they needed a drummer, so I was invited to join. We played a few gigs, made a record or two, and became Genesis. You may have heard of them. The others left school to continue the band, but I stayed on to do my exams. I don't regret it. I did a lot of different, exciting things.
Such as?
I worked as a shepherd. I learnt languages. I travelled a lot.
You wrote travel guides, didn't you? How did that happen?
I met these people at a party and got talking to them about travelling and my desire to go to China. They didn't say anything, but a week later I was sitting at home when the phone rang. It was Mark, and he told me he was the editor of a series of travel guides and asked if I wanted to go to China, expenses paid, to write the rough guide to China.
When did you decide to move to Andalusia?
I suppose it started in 1973 when I was working in France. I was picking grapes on the Vendange when I met an American woman. She told me how wonderful Seville was, especially as a place to study the guitar. When the grape picking finished, I immediately hitched to Seville and fell in love with the place. The architecture, the music, dances and songs, the poetry, and the whole romance of southern Spain. I went back whenever I could.
But you didn't move there until much later.
That's right, in 1988. I'd met Anna and got married by then. One day we were feeling miserable and talking about how dull and unexciting our lives had become. If only we lived in Spain, we said to each other, and so we did. We moved soon after and bought El Valero, this wonderful old farm, with no access road, no running water, no electricity.
So you suddenly became a farmer and had to take care of pigs and goats as well as crops like olives and lemons. Was it difficult?
Anna and I had already farmed in England for many years when we came here, so we knew about sheep and farming. I'd learnt to shear sheep at the age of 21, for example. But there was, and still is, an awful lot to learn. They were very hard, but happy days.
And now? Is it still exciting?
Oh, yes. There's always something to do. Right now, the sky looks very dark over to the west. That means heavy rain, which means we'll probably lose the bridge again. So, more bridge building for me. And then there's plenty more olives and oranges and...